Pin Podcast, another installment of Modern Topics with a Vintage Flair with Pinup Miami. And today is episode number 7. And I hope you guys are checking out these cool new lights that I have in the background if you're watching me via YouTube. If not, watch me on iTunes, Spotify, or any of those other podcasting sources. And recently I got into iHeartRadio, so make sure you follow me there too if you have iHeartRadio. Well, and today I have a very special guest, and she is made of pure gold. And ever since I met her, I really could say that I've really bonded with her, and I've had great experiences, and she's taught me a lot. Hopefully I taught her a lot, and I opened her up to the world. And her name is Miss Vicky Darling. If you guys follow her on Instagram, it's Vicky Darling, or at the Target Bargain Hunter with underscores under each, correct?
Yes.
Yes. All right, Vicky, how are you doing today? Thank you so much for being on the podcast.
I know. I'm sorry I'm late. I had so much.
Okay. Tell people how we met.
So I met Yanni, what is it, like 5 years now? So
Yes.
I'm
And you're the only one that could call me Yanni.
yes,
Besides my mom.
that's right, that's me. So I met you almost 5 years ago, like what, September, October 2015 at Tatiana's boutique. I had just gone my first big time job, and I was like, you know what, I want to splurge. And I went over to Tatiana's boutique when it was in Las Olas, and there was this girl with this red hair. I'm pretty sure she had red hair at the time.
Yes, flaming red.
Yes, very, very fire hydrant red. And she like came and assisted me, and I'm like, oh my gosh, she's so cool. I want to be at that level. And she literally helped me just buy the whole store. Like, I would call in with a new outfit that I would find, and she'd be like, is that Victoria? And I'd be like, oh, that's so embarrassing. She already knows that I'm calling. And then we were like inseparable after that. When she had blue hair, then we became best friends when she was blue for a little bit.
And I was only blue for like 2 weeks.
Really?
Yeah, it turned like this weird aqua green, and then after I did one photo shoot with it and a workshop, which is all in the same 2 week span. That's it. Because it kept bleeding all over the place.
Yeah,
I've had issues with blue hair.
we have pictures if you can show that, but yeah.
Yes, I have pictures. I do. And then you had your first photo shoot at Tatiana, no?
No, I didn't.
Oh, where was it?
It was
Oh,
a studio.
it was in a studio. And then we got acquainted because the store closed in Fort Lauderdale.
Yeah.
And then we just started hanging out.
Yeah, we met through, well, she was like, oh my God, you need to follow me on Instagram. Like the first time I was like, your hair is so pretty. I want to dye my hair that color, but it's like really curly. I don't want to mess up my curls. And then,
yeah, your curls are beautiful.
Thank you. We met up at the Frank Sinatra thing at the History Miami Museum. And then we were like inseparable. We were like this.
Yeah, and then we thought of an idea of like people like Vicky and like myself that love vintage and just want to hang out and have a good time. So she went with the crazy idea of having like a monthly pinup brunch, and she was the first person there to support me, and because I knew nobody when I started this besides Vicky. And even the morning of the first pinup brunch that was hosted, somebody messaged me on Instagram. It was just a coincidence, and she joined in, and I never seen the other girl anymore, but but Vicky, it started from just me and Vicky, and then from there it grew into a lot of people that followed on online, on the online social media, and it's just been taken off.
It's like huge. It was like the both of us. I remember we went to, what's that strip called in Hollywood?
Downtown Hollywood.
Oh yeah. So we went there and like we were just like scouting locations and restaurants, and I think we went to the French bakery first.
Yes.
We were just trying to like eat and see what places, like people would like, and then it kind of just it grew.
Yeah.
It grew
And
so
then
much
Vicky
like the Pinup
left.
Zoo thing. Oh, I did leave. Like what
Yeah,
year?
well, yeah, I forgot to mention Vicky is no longer in Florida. She is now in. I always get confused in which South or North.
North.
North Carolina. And tell us about your job.
Oh my God, I've been here 3 years. It feels like a lifetime, but it doesn't all at the same time because my heart is still Miami. My heart is still with all my friends back home, all my pinup friends who are watching. I miss you all. So I came up here with the hopes of making Pins Charlotte, but I'm still working on it. But I have a job up here. I work in racing. I work for NASCAR. I've worked.
No, boom boom.
That was funny. You made that up right now on the spot.
Yeah, I did.
So, I've been working here for 3 years. I lost my train of thought. I've been working in the sports world for 7 years now. Yes, different
Ooh. And
positions, different things.
and in Charlotte, okay, so it's a whole different community from here, Miami to Charlotte, no? Like, what are like the three biggest differences between a city like Miami and Charlotte?
Called
Charlotte.
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 In Charlotte. Um, the culture. I mean, I just mentioned that huge like difference night and day. It was like just culture in general. Um, just like the vibe and the scene, and you don't see many like pinups, but you do find like massive amounts of like vintage stuff for like nothing. People give that junk away for free. So my entire house is like bleh, vomiting of 1950s, and I love it. It's my little sanctuary, and I've been collecting a whole bunch of things. I don't know, just to me, like culture is the biggest one. I can't really like list three.
Oh, so culture. And so you stand out over there, not just because of the pinup stuff, but you stand out because of your culture.
Yeah, definitely like the Hispanic community is a lot tinier here. It's very southern, very, very southern.
And you work in NASCAR, it's super
And
southern.
yes, yeah,
I mean, I would only assume because when I see movies and stuff,
it's
or when I went to NASCAR, thanks to you, I went to the Homestead Speedway.
yes. She went to HMS and at Homestead, Miami, she was like, I mean, people were stopping her on pit road. She was sending me pictures and messages, just like, oh my God. And just,
I showed up on the screen.
yes, she was like, yeah, there was people from production talking about like some girl on pit road with yellow hair. And I was like, I know who that is.
I made that outfit. I was proud of it.
It was awesome.
And if you, I made like a little checkered skirt, very NASCAR related, but still a dress. And there I'm next to the people changing the tires.
She was like the
It
belle
was
of the ball. She was the talk of the track. Everyone loved Yenny.
yay. And so for I know a lot of girls have jobs that are male dominated. So starting off, was it really hard?
Um, yes, I would say I've worked for, oh my God, um, all the major sports networks, ESPN, NBC Sports, Fox Sports. I've worked for NASCAR. I've worked for Major League Basket, Major League, listen to me. Lord Jesus, if anyone hears me, they're like, did she really? I've worked for the Miami Heat. I've worked for the Florida Panthers, um, MLS, the NFL. I've like done it all in each place. It kind of like varies with, I would say NASCAR is really good at keeping it 50-50, you know, of like
You
male
mean 50
female
50?
ratio.
Oh.
So I say they're really good at that. And in other places, like when I worked in hockey, like when it came to like bigger positions and stuff like that, it was me. And then our whole room of guys. And then we would have our female host and our female coordinator, and it was kind of
That's
just,
it.
yeah.
So where was the first place you worked at? The first sporting place you worked at?
I would say out of college, I got an internship straight with NASCAR.
Oh, look at that. Now you're with NASCAR.
Now I'm with NASCAR. I'm back.
You're
Um,
back. It's full circle.
it really is a full circle, really. It was weird how that happened.
But
So
what was your first experience in your first job? And well, let's say in professional. You don't have to name names, but what what was your first time that you felt like, damn, like you felt like your position as a woman was hindering in your job? I don't, you know what I mean?
yeah, like I get it. You can, especially if you're a woman in the sports world, you have to be tough. And naturally, I am tough because I had to grow up being tough. So I went in like with, like a tough attitude, and then people knew right away, like, oh, you can't really mess with her. She's not like the other ones. So, um, I would say like I kind of had that attitude that always like protected me. Um, I would say I did feel a little intimidated when I started like full time in hockey. So the NHL was
Mm.
like my first full time job in the sports world, like big. And it was a little intimidating at first because I'm like, oh my gosh, there's like all these men and it's just me. But I grew to love it. Like I didn't care. Like I love hanging out with the guys, and I know if some of them watch this, I don't know. They would call me timeless because on game days I would put on my pinup outfits just to like get through that whole like 50,000 hour game day. And I would just like really cute, really 50s all the time. So I earned the nickname Timeless. So I don't know.
So cute.
Yeah, I worked with a lot of great men who I still, talk to and really good friends with. They're really supportive and loving people. And I can say that about kind of like almost everywhere I've worked.
Oh, so you've had a great experience in all of them.
Yeah, I mean, there's negatives. you know, it's not perfect. It's never been
But
perfect. It will never.
who loves their job 100% unless you work for yourself?
Yes, and it can. My flowers like falling off my head. Um, it can be. It's always intimidating. It'll always be. Hopefully that dies down, but it'll always be like intimidating for women to work in the sports world. Like it is male dominated. It's always been male dominated, and now it's kind of like the ratios are finally changing and women are taking on bigger positions and bigger roles. So I'm all about that. Women power.
Hmm. Where do you see yourself in a couple years in the sports industry still, or
Um, Sports was never my intention. Never, ever, 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 ever did I see myself in sports. I didn't go to school for sports. I went to become a meteorologist and to become like a severe thunderstorm analyst for the Weather Channel, and that never ever happened. Didn't get my degree in that. I got pigeonholed in sports thanks to a guy I dated in college who was like sports crazy, and I'm like, I don't understand any of this. And I just kind of like fell into it, and I was like, this is actually cool. And I studied every single sport, and I just found my way with connections and stuff through the sports world, and here I am. But no,
so what?
sorry.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
But I have always loved late night television. I love comedy. I've studied comedy. I'm literally like a Saturday Night Live Bible. I can tell you about episodes and characters and everything. I love SNL. I love just like making people laugh. Not that I want to be like talent, but I'm not sure what I want to be, but I just love comedy. I love
Mm.
that.
I know, because I every time we spoke, you've always said your dream is to work with SNL.
Yes, I love SNL. I need my chance to work with Lauren Michaels.
And who is Lauren Michaels? I don't know.
Lauren is the creator of Saturday Night Live. He brought the concept from Canada to the United States during the 70s and everything, and it kind of just blew up, and he just He has his own movie company where all my SNL favorites make all their hilarious movies under, and I would love to work under that label too. So,
Ooh. Well, if anybody here listening knows her, please drop Vicky's handle.
yeah, I have a lot of experience. Please let them know.
And do you have, let's see, back to the sports. Do you have a specific sport that you like most? Like personally to watch? Do you have a specific?
Um, oh my gosh. The sports world is such a, well, it depends on the season. Baseball's the longest, then it's NBA and the NHL tied, and then football is obviously the shortest season. I
I feel like that was the easiest answer for anybody to answer. It depends on the seasons.
It like depends how they're doing. I cannot sit there and watch all 1,000 hockey games, but I will tune into some of the most of the Florida Panthers home games that I can pick up from North Carolina. Through logging in and free stuff, and really hard to watch it up here. But I love football. I love the Atlanta Falcons. So usually I make a long trip to Atlanta to watch them. Probably not going to happen.
Or you host a party.
My Super Bowl party. Oh,
I attended a party hosted by Vicky for the Super Bowl when the Falcons were in the Super Bowl.
yes, I hosted a massive party. And anyone all cute and like her Falcons colors. Oh my God, yes. When we went to football games, I've taken her to 2 Falcons games.
Yes.
1 or 2. Yeah, and
Uno.
she went like all black and red. She was hardcore. She looks fantastic.
Because my last name is Falcon, so I might not watch the Falcons, but I can relate with the name.
Like yelling for them, and she's like, I don't even know what's going on. She was just like,
Falcon! Well, I know the sport, but I don't follow them. I was water girl in high school. I got my community service being water girl for the Hialeah High
oh
football
my
team.
God, do people know your sports history? Yenny's ball.
Nobody knows my sports industry, but I played sports in high school. I was a basketball player.
Badass.
In my quinceañera, it was basketball. Me and my sister were twins, and we had our 15s at a Miami Heat game.
Oh my God, I'm so jealous. I wish I knew you back then.
And my favorite experience at any game was when I worked at the Fontainebleau. The owner of the Fontainebleau, well, one of the owners dropped the ticket on the floor, and I picked it up, and I go, "Hey, lady, this is your Miami Heat tickets. You dropped it." And then she goes, "Are you a Heat fan?" And I go, "Yes." And then she's like, "Do you want these tickets?" And I'm here like, "I've never seen these seats in my life. They must be really good." And she's like, "They're really good seats. Make sure you park indoors. That also includes parking." And I didn't know what that meant. And we got to park inside, like this special place in a garage, and then we got to go like underneath, and there was this like bar, and then we were literally right behind the players. Apparently I had the ticket of Philip Goldfarb, which is like the owner of the Fontainebleau. And I was like sitting there like, and I took my dad, and he didn't believe that we were sitting where we were sitting, and I was like, yeah, we're sitting there.
Courtside tickets.
I didn't even go to the bathroom. I wanted to enjoy every moment because I knew I was never going to sit there again.
I love that. Like, I wish I could experience that again. Once you work in sports and meet all the athletes and work with them, it kind of like changes your perspective. They're no longer like this big thing. They're just kind of like humanized. And it's like, hey, you know?
Oh, and you got to see them really close and personal. I'm sure women would love to see some of these men in person.
Yeah.
No?
Oh my God, yes. I've seen them. Yeah, hockey players, I have to say, are the hottest players.
You heard it here. You heard
Hockey
it
players
here.
are the hottest players. I loved it.
And what is your favorite sport to work in, like as a producer?
Oh, it's all really hard. It's all like freaking long hours. You've known. I've like ghosted friends throughout the years because seasons get like really hard. Um, I would say like I love last year things COVID. I can't travel, but with NASCAR, I would love to travel to the racetrack. That was my favorite part because you don't get to interact with drivers like you would in any other sport. So hockey to me, like hands down, will always be my favorite. Like if I could work in the NHL again, I would. I absolutely loved it, and I built really great relationships with the players, and they would let me. Uh,
I also went with a game with you.
yes, Jennifer,
We dressed up. I dressed her up. It was like one of our
we
first
were
like friend
twins.
dates.
We went as twins that day.
Yeah, we went as twins. I did her hair. I did her makeup.
And we took a picture of the
And then
Stanley Cup. She hustled this lady that she thought it was the wrong lady. She called the wrong lady over, and I was like, "That's not her." That like I was already a few months out from working at the Florida Panthers, and she was like, I was like, "No, Jennifer, that's the nope." And she
so let me explain. Let me explain what she's saying. What she's saying is when we wanted to go to this game, it was because she wanted to take a picture with the Stanley Cup because she's worked with the NHL for so long, and she just wanted a picture with it. So we get there and we're in line, but then they say that they're
cut it off.
closing, no more
Yeah,
pictures, and
right at us. They cut it off.
I was determined to get her a picture with this trophy because that was the only thing. And I looked at her face looked like a little kid when you drop the ice cream on the floor, and she kept telling me stop it, but I'm like, no.
She called the wrong woman over, and then she hustled her. Jenny is a really good hustler. This girl, hustle game 100. And
I'm gonna find that picture and put it if you're watching on
yeah,
YouTube so you can see this gorgeous picture, one of me and one of, because I also had to get a picture since I hustled.
yeah. Well, it came out kind of blurry. And then we have this picture. We're like in the front seats watching hockey. Like we have a whole bunch of
Yes,
funny pictures.
I even made us like these custom brooches. I just laminated the
I
Panthers
still have
logo.
mine. It's still
I
on.
still have mine too, and I have the scarf that we got for free that day.
I lost mine. It fell
Oh.
at one of the games. But yeah.
But yeah. See, we have great memories together.
Yeah. Actually, we went to more than one game.
Yeah, we did, but that was the first one.
I give Yenny VIP treatment. Best friend.
Yes.
She gets into every sporting event she wants.
I was shocked when she gave me tickets to go to the Homestead Speedway.
Yes. Homestead.
It was really
Mhm.
nice. I learned a lot. And then I learned I should get somebody to pick me up. It was a long day. I just got dropped off because I heard parking was so crazy for these big NASCAR events.
You wore
And they're
heels.
like I wore heels too, but it was a long day.
I could have killed you. I had to pull out a chair, and she sat in front of the TV compound waiting for me. Everyone's wondering who the girl with the yellow hair sitting there is.
I was tired. It was an exhausting but fun day.
Yeah.
I'll do it again. I'll do it again. I'm complaining, but I'm like, I'll do it again.
She would in a heartbeat. She'll do anything.
But it's always the same day as Dapper Day, so sometimes I can't go.
Hmm.
But now with this whole craziness, I don't know what's happening.
Nothing.
So
Happening.
nothing is happening. So how is it? Let me ask you. In the sports industry, how about representation of Hispanics?
It depends where you live. So,
Ah,
yeah, you'll find like in Miami, I mean, it's Miami. So like everyone talks Spanish there, period. No matter what industry. Miami is a huge bilingual market. Like white, black, you still understand, like
yeah.
so that's where it's the biggest, I don't know, Hispanic market. Here is different, it's the southern part of the United States. You won't find as many Hispanics as you would in northern Cuba. So, um, yeah, there's not many Hispanics where I work. So I do feel underrepresented there, but I try to, push more to diversify and create features with Hispanic drivers. I think we only have two right now, Eric Admirola and Daniel Suarez. So, they're cool guys.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
What are like a couple of tips? What are a couple of tips you'd give to women that want to make it in the sports industry, in like the entertainment side, the producing or editing or that?
Definitely practice, 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 practice if you want to be a producer. And this job, working in sports, will never be consistent. So it's not like, your title will like go do 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 do. It's just like it's like this. It's like it's
Mm.
crazy. So I've had every which title. It's just everything. I've been from an intern to a runner to lead producer, and it's just everywhere. But I've enjoyed the ride. It's been a huge learning experience. Um, it's really humbling, and I would say that you need to be ballsy, be gutsy, not ballsy. Just be tough. You have to be very tough. Women are underrepresented in many of the industries and many of the teams. I'm not saying all of them. A lot of them are really good at keeping it equal. Um, but just like stick up for yourself, be strong, and definitely always give it 100. I used to work with someone who used to drive me crazy. It's like, why give 100 when you can give 70 or 60% and still get the job done? Well, no, I'm about giving 100%. My videos are going to look 100%. I'm going to stay and finish and make everything look perfect and polished the best I can because that has my name on it. That's me. So always give it 100% and be ready for super long hours. The sports world,
Yeah, you were crazy hours.
yes. If you work in television, television does not wait for you. You have to work the insane hours. If you haven't noticed, television is 24/7. And even during COVID-19, when everyone was at home, there's still people in control rooms, in news stations, in studios, in front of the camera and behind the camera. There are people still working nonstop. Nothing stops us. Nothing can stop us. We are unstoppable. We have to keep showing content. So you have to be ready to like pull all-nighters a lot, work long seasons, make videos that will make you cry because it's really hard. And you have like this amount of time to make a video this big. You know what I mean? So it's it's grueling and you have to love it. You have to make sure you love it or else it's going to be a nightmare. You're going to hate it.
What was your the best job, like the best video or best situation or best experience you've had in the
Which
industry?
one? Which
It could
one,
be
Jennifer? Which one? My best?
well, when you look back, okay, like your most proudest. Like, was there a video that you made or edited that was like, dang, that was
Yes.
which one?
Well, I guess, it's been 7 years that I've been doing this. So of course, my talent is ever evolving. You're never the same editor, you're never the same producer. You're always learning, you're always evolving. It's just you keep getting better as long as you want to get better. So looking back, seeing the video now, I'm like, eh. But at that time, I was really, really, really over the moon about uh, having the honor, really, to make the Stanley Cup opening video for the Florida Panthers when they made it to the Stanley Cup playoffs in 2016.
Woo!
Yes, it was featured on NHL.com the very next day after the playoffs opening night. There's a beautiful picture. I have it printed out. It was like the headlining video story. So that to me, that made me cry. I hated my job at that time. I was like, done. I was like, I can't anymore. It's the end of the season.
Then boom.
And I literally stood in the control room and all my game day people in there were like, holy shit, this is really good. Like I have goosebumps and I was like, like I was just like crying afterwards. I was just like hearing like, oh my God. I am so sorry if I get this fact wrong. I think there was like 78,000 people. Well, I could be wrong. I gotta check that statistic. But anyway, I like getting numbers right. The arena was like at capacity, the largest capacity, and everyone just like feeling their energy, the excitement it gave them, and like The video's all over YouTube. You can find it. And it's just that one specifically that I made. Unfortunately, I worked with an actor who I will not name. And at the time, that was a huge deal for me. He was a huge Oscar winning, very famous actor. And that to me was a big honor. It's no longer something I'm proud of, but it was a huge honor at that time to have worked with him on that piece. And it came out perfect. And he asked for the video. So that was to
Ooh.
me. That was big.
Aw.
Yes. And then the team logo video, that was another good one. That was the opening video for the following season too.
Well, that's so awesome.
Yes. And my NASCAR recap videos aren't that bad. They're half-hour features. I've done 2 of them covering the entire.
How long does it take you to make these half-hour features?
Well, when I was at the Florida Panthers, I would be like, oh my God, a 5-minute feature. This is going to take like 20 years. Now, NASCAR, when I work race weekends, I have to make like a 52-minute race recap in like 2 hours. So, the end of the year feature takes about 2 weeks to do. I would say I would put in about 80 to 90 hours per week.
Oh, wow.
If you think about it, that's like never going home. So
that's a lot.
I can put up all-nighters. I've done all-nighters doing videos like this. And
now before we end this video, I also want people, because we're going to bring you back, because you also have a side hustle.
I do. Well, it's
am I right?
hustle. It's a growing side hustle, yes.
It's a growing side hustle. So it's like the cool high side hustle. I'm trying to come up with a good name here. But tell us a little sneak peek, because it's so awesome and I love it, and so many people, can benefit from it. So just give like a little like synopsis, because you'll be coming back with this.
So I'm obsessed with Target, and almost 2 years ago I went to Target and I was like, oh my God, all this Christmas stuff is 90% off. And I like filled my cart and I made this video and I posted it on Facebook, and people are like, oh my God, that was a really like good video. Maybe you should start something. And I was like, no. So flash forward almost 2 years later, I am the Target Bargain Hunter on Instagram. So I am now a professional couponer, and I teach people how to coupons and I post deals, and that's my hustle.
Yeah, my favorite deal that she hooked me up with was I wanted one of those little vacuums to pick up after I sweep it, just one of those small ones.
Yeah.
She got it for me for $5, but then they delayed. The shipping was delayed, so they gave me a coupon for $5. So I ended up getting it for free.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So,
but yeah,
that was a year ago. And anytime I need something, I send her a message really quick, and I'm like, hey, can you get this at a cheaper price?
I love it. I love the opportunity of helping other people, and I've had millions of people just view my content. So that's really rewarding, and knowing that I'm helping people in hard times is awesome. I love what I do. I love helping people.
We all need to save, especially now.
Yeah.
Well, and always, because you never know when something like this would have happened. I mean, nobody could have guessed.
Yeah. Yeah. I have a motto that I follow. I know times are hard and everything, and people always say, well, nothing in life comes for free, because that's garbage, because I get free money making things all the time. So if you're interested on how to do that, follow me on the Target Bargain Hunter, my page on Facebook and on Instagram. I get free.
You heard it here. Hooking you up with the deals.
Yeah, message me. For sure.
Well, Vicky, I wanted to say thank you so much for being on the Pin Podcast, and I can't wait to have you back. And if anybody out there has any ideas or wants to be a guest on the Pin Podcast, remember I still have that hotline, 1-833-4-A-PINUP, and you could send a text or a voicemail. I still have a couple of spaces left for people that want to tell me their experience on online dating, so let me know.
Ooh,
and yeah. I'm gonna do a whole podcast about online dating experiences.
Mr. South Africa, maybe you should ask me how that one went.
Ooh, she'll be back again with that. Like, thank you all, and make sure you hit that subscribe button if you're listening to us on YouTube. If you're watching me on YouTube or on iTunes, Spotify, iHeart, it's really on every podcasting. And my Instagram is Pinup Miami, and I hope you guys have a safe and wonderful week until next Wednesday. Bye-bye.
Thank you for having me.